In life in general, one small decision, one meeting one person, or doing something on one specific day can really alter the course of your whole life. Hi, my name is Jonathan Brun, and I work at a company called Nimonik. I'm the CEO. I was born and raised in Montreal, Quebec, and I went to McGill University where I studied metallurgical engineering. After I finished university, my last work term was working for a metallurgical services company in China. And in China, I got to see very polluted steel factories and foundries and processing units. It was a fascinating work environment, but certainly one where I saw firsthand the ravages that industry can have on the environment, especially when it's not well regulated, as it was in China. This was in 2006. I was living and working in Beijing. So after I finished in China and I decided to change my career more towards the environmental sector, I came back to Canada and started looking for work. And it took me a little bit of time to find work, but eventually a friend of a friend of a friend sent my CV to a small environmental consulting firm here in Montreal called EEM. And they decided to hire me in 2006, partially thanks to an Eco Canada grant that they received to support my hiring. Nimonik, as a product, was originally started by a small environmental consulting firm here in Montreal called EEM, and they started building a database of environmental regulations and analysis about those regulations and how they apply to businesses for two customers, NAV Canada and Transcontinental Printers. And this database got built out, and the intent was to sell it to other companies across Canada. This was back in 2004, 2005 approximately. But in 2008, for a variety of different reasons, we decided to separate the product and to create an independent company. So Nimonik Inc. Was created in May of 2008, and I was the person who started this new part of the company, if you will, or new journey. And I've been working here since 2008. It's gone really quickly. It's scary a little bit, but it's, I guess, been about almost 14 years now, and I'm still here. Nimonik offers a web-based solution that helps businesses keep track of and identify laws, regulations, standards, and other requirements that they have to maintain with respect to the environment and with respect to other topics as well. So you can think of it as a very large database of information that can then be filtered for a specific type of customer. And the government is constantly creating new laws, new regulations, they're changing things. And so it's really important that businesses stay up to date and make changes when the government changes the requirements. So our system allows them to receive alerts and actions when they need to review a change from the government or from a standards body, or maybe their environmental permit has changed. So it's really about organizing all of your environmental requirements in one place so that you have less surprises and less mistakes. Companies and industries have become much more complex and sophisticated and larger over the last 100 years. And as these industries have complexified and grown, the amount of information and the amount of tasks and things and people that are involved has also grown. And so Nimonik is a technology company, but we're offering really a tool to help businesses organize information around environmental issues. I would argue that one of the biggest environmental challenges we have today is that people don't know what they need to do to stay in compliance with environmental regulations or to have best practices. We can take dramatic examples like Deepwater Horizon, the oil rig that exploded a few years ago in the Gulf of Mexico. And when you look at that, a lot of it had to do with failure to take information, organize it, treat it, and take appropriate action. And that's really what Nimonik is about. It's about making companies more disciplined, taking the environmental information that they have and that they need to collect, and ensuring that they stay in compliance. What I'd say I'm most proud of is building a Canadian company that's owned and operated by Canadians, and that provides a great work environment to our staff here in Canada and overseas, and that we're able to export our product all around the world. Having a product that's used all around the world, multilingual, having teams, it's really something that we want to grow and build on, and we want Canada to be viewed as a place of innovation and a place where companies can do business and can export all around the world. So that Eco Canada grant, in the grand scheme of things, we don't know how much of an impact it had, but I think it made a significant difference in my trajectory and ended up creating a new business that has employed hundreds of people over the years and has hopefully encouraged other people to go into the environmental field and to see the value of a career in helping businesses and companies and organizations reduce their impact on the environment. So it's one of those famous butterfly effect things where one small change has a big impact across many people's lives.